What can we say? The WNBA, the gift that keeps on giving. We got some interesting things to get into today. Everybody who wanted Cathy Engelbert gone and fired as WNBA commissioner, it looks like you may be getting what you ultimately wanted. We got to get into this. This is some wild stuff going on. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification, hype the video. Let's keep rolling. So, obviously, crazy CBA, WNBA negotiations going on. In the midst of all of this, we have WNBPA board members signing with Unrivaled and Getting Equity, signing with Project B, that one being the president, Nneka Ogwumike. All types of stuff is going on. Still trying to get this CBA done. The clock is still ticking. Now, we heard about the new offer that came in. Good money, good numbers, but prioritization remains a major, major issue. And the other major issue seems to be these players want Cathy Engelbert out of her seat as commissioner of the WNBA, and that may be a part of this CBA deal. Let's take a look at this here. I got a video for y'all to watch. We got to get into this article. It's time to stir the pot. Stir the pot. Keep cooking. Let's go. Here it says, ESPN analysts forecast when Cathy Engelbert could be fired from the WNBA. ESPN's Elle Duncan assessed what could be in store for WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert. Now, we have heard before Cathy Engelbert could be on her way out, but they don't want to get rid of her in the middle of the negotiations. There's a lot going on. Get a deal done and then move on from her. That is likely how this thing may play out. Let's get a look at the article. WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert has been subject to a ton of criticism from the women's basketball community, including both fans and players, for quite some time. But these feelings have intensified as a result of the ongoing negotiations of the league's next collective bargaining agreement, given that Engelbert is the face of the league office in these negotiations. But this isn't just interactions at the negotiating table that have players irked. Engelbert hasn't done a good job building relationships with players and has antagonized herself with several alleged comments that Napheesa Collier has called attention to in several interviews over the past couple months. We saw Napheesa Collier go on Kamala Harris, all type of stuff, bombing on Cathy Engelbert nonstop. Here it says, and y'all gotta listen to the video. I got a video that y'all need to listen to. Because of this, there's a growing belief that Engelbert's job could be in jeopardy. Las Vegas Aces head coach Becky Hammon alluded to this during a November 12th interview with CNBC. Now, I played this for you guys by saying, I've only had a few private conversations with Cathy. To me, her private conversations that she's had with players or her lack of those conversations have led to some rocky relationship status with the players. I don't know if Engelbert can ever kind of retract and get that traction back from those conversations. I would say they're probably going to look for a change in leadership. I just think it might be too fractured at this point, but we'll see. Hammond added. Okay. Now we got to get to this right here. This is where the juicy part is. ESPN's Elle Duncan addresses Cathy Engelbert's future. ESPN analyst Elle Duncan was the guest on a November 18th episode of Dan Le Batard's show and was asked when Engelbert might be replaced as WNBA commissioner. She said, I do believe Engelbert being replaced is coming. I do not believe anything is going to happen until they get a new CBA ratified, because that's ridiculous to have someone in a high-level conversations and then to bail right when we're actually reaching critical time in the space. I think it's asinine. So I don't anticipate any change happening before then, but I do anticipate change coming. How you gotta read between the lines, guys. We've had head coaches say they believe she's about to be replaced. We've had players say they believe she's about to be replaced. We have analysts saying she's about to be replaced. And come on, read between the lines, guys. Come on. Let's take a listen to this.
Why hasn't Cathy Engelbert been replaced yet? When will that happen? And will it be important?
He said, when will it happen? Like Like, he knows Dan Le Batard is talking like he already know it's about to happen. He said, not only why hasn't she been replaced, when will she be? I know it's about to happen. Come on, man.
In terms of the future of the WNBA.
It will be very important. I do believe it's coming. I do not believe anything is going to happen until they can get this new CBA ratified, because that's ridiculous to have someone in high level conversations and then to bail right when we're actually reaching like critical time in the space, I think is asinine. So I don't anticipate any change happening before then, but I do anticipate a change coming. And I talked to an executive in the NBA just about sort of the precarious situation that she's found herself in. And, you know, I think the issue that they raised for me is that, like, Roger Goodell gets called a lot of names. He's maligned, like, by fans. He gets booed everywhere he goes. And most of that is because everyone believes that he only works for the owners and he's got the owner's interest in mind only, right? So he's in with the owners and he's not in with the players. That's the idea, at least, the narrative that swirls. When it comes to Cathy, she doesn't necessarily have great relationships with the teams or the players. So if you're not if you're not like currying favor with either side, I just don't know how you survive it. And I watched her, y'all, get booed mercilessly at the WNBA finals when we were in Phoenix. And I think it shocked her. I think it was really off-putting to her to see how she has become the villain in this story. And I think she's done a really good job raising capital throughout the years where it wasn't as easy to raise capital, where we didn't have numbers and metrics to prove that this was a great business strategy. But I also think that, like, the relationship has clearly deteriorated to a place where I don't think it's ever going to be fixed. And if you at least had the owners on your side going, that's our girl and we're going to make sure she stays. But I don't think she has that either. So if you don't have either side, I just don't know how long you're in for this job.
Cathy Engelbert is done, you guys. Stick a fork in her. Stick a fork in her. You mean to tell me, because that's the one thing that we always would say. Well, but Cathy's with the owners, okay? The owners ultimately make these decisions. The owners are telling Cathy to do this, this, and that. She's with the owners. We're finding out otherwise, guys. We're finding out otherwise. And we saw this in an article that said, and I read this article over a month ago on this very channel where it said there are owners who believe and want Cathy Engelbert to be fired. It said that in black and white, but they did not like how Napheesa Collier went about things, and they didn't want to make it seem like the players had more power. There are owners who want this lady gone too. She's toast. You can forget about it. It's over. Get down in the comments and let me know what you think about this. This is Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share the channel.